to another video. This one's a First Descendant video, and the new season has started. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm not impressed. Maybe you guys can tell me some stuff in the comments that you think is good about it, or not good about it. Maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't. Let me know in the comments below. But I'm not impressed, dude. Like, this is kind of a trash update. They added the new inversion reinforcement thing, which I've read all of these, and they're so situational and their benefits are not very good. Maybe they get better towards the end. Like, some of them seem like they're okay, but you have to have like higher levels of it. So I don't know. Not too impressed by it right now. Also, the inversion thing is supposed to be the new seasonal content, I think, but there's not a spot to do it on the map. Maybe I just haven't unlocked it yet because I have to finish doing these little side quest things that they're making me do. But like the acquire encryption data from Vulgus, strategic outpost on hard difficulty. Like, I don't know, it's making me redo old past missions, which I have been fed up with and have not been enjoying. So there's that. On top of that, the battle pass doesn't really catch my eye. I don't know. I didn't see anything in here that was actually interesting. The only thing that I think was kind of good and like cool was, let's see. This skin right here looked cool. And this skin right here looked cool. This skin right here looked cool. And that was it. This skin's okay, but it's like whatever. But we do get a new gun. So this is the new gun or whatever, but it's I don't know what exactly it does. So yeah, I guess we can look at that real quick. Let's see. It's gonna be in access info, weapons. That. I don't see it. Hello? Okay, I guess we don't get to see it. Unless I'm just like losing my mind and I can't see, but apparently it's not listed in the menu thing here, so we can't even see what it does. So that's cool. Nice. Anyway, apart from that, what else did they add? Well, they finally did the Descendant module change where you can change your Descendant modules, except it's actually trash and the worst thing I've ever seen in gaming history, because you can only select a socket type that has been assigned before. Yeah, what does that mean, guys? Well, let's take a look at a Descendant that's almost maxed out for me, which would be my ultimate Lepic, who is still not maxed out. I still have like 4 slots that need to be done. But, yeah, he's got a socket in every single one of them. So let's go ahead and change one of his socket types. Oh, I can't! Because the only options I have is to make it with no socket type or put the socket type I've already done. Which means if you have ever assigned a socket type to this thing, then you can swap it to whichever one you had before. So if you put the wrong socket in, like I did with this one here, because I had this one socketed, but I can switch it back to nothing. Because that was the wrong one I had socketed. So that's cool. But yeah, it's going to be like that for all settings as well, which is just great. Absolutely great. Yeah, so if you want to know why that's such a bad thing, by the way, well, you see, you have to level up a character to level 40 just to use a catalyst. And now, if you want to be able to have access to every single possible imaginable build on a character, which means you're going to want pretty much every single socket on all of these, or every single socket type on every one of these sockets, you are now going to have to level up your character to level 2,240. That's going to allow you to have all 5 socket types in every single one of these spots and your skill module slot, as well as have the 1 slot that you need right here, because all of these so far take these little 3 lines. Yeah, so you're going to have to level up your character basically over 2,240 times. And you're probably thinking, oh, that's not too bad. That's just a level grind. Well, how long does it take you to level up your character to level 40? Because I can tell you right now, with the most optimal XP farm and a 30% XP modifier, I was grinding earlier for an entire hour with Haley, and I only got her to level 30. So it took about an hour at the optimal Fortress XP farm that everybody uses with Bunny to get her to level 30. And to get to level 40 is a even more significant jump and takes about an extra 30 minutes or so to get there. So you're going to have to do that for about, 2,000 times. So what's that? Like an hour and a half. So that would be like 90-ish minutes or so times 2,240. Actually, it would be 2,280 because you're going to have to level up 1 extra additional time after you've hit level 40 or after you've used that last catalyst. So you're going to spend roughly 3,420 hours to max out 1 single character in this game. And that doesn't count that you also have to do the same thing for guns, which will require you to level up the guns to level 2,000 to max those out completely as well. And you're also going to have to hope in the that same time period that the guns don't get obsolete and become unusable for future updates and content. So that is what I think is bad and trash about this update. I am definitely not impressed. I like this game, but as someone who is trying to be a content creator and play this game for content purposes, this is nearly impossible. And if you're like, oh, just do the other content creator route and just buy the things to skip it. Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Do you know how many catalysts you're going to need for your Descendant? Do you? Are you curious? I'm sure you're curious, right? Yeah, you're going to need 12. That's how many you need. Because you're going to need, or no, not 12. I'm sorry. You're going to need 60 because you're going to have 11 times 5 because there's 5 different socket types plus 1 for this one. You're going to need 60 catalysts. How long does it take you to craft a catalyst, by the way? Oh, I believe it's 8 hours, right? So that alone is going to be, about 480 hours or 500 hours or so that you're going to have to wait for crafting, let alone buying them. So if you were to buy them to skip the wait, how much do you think that's going to cost you? Glad you also asked that too. It's going to cost you 300 a pop times 60, which is going to be 18,000 caliber, which is 3 of these packs plus a $20 pack. So, yeah, it's $120 if you want to skip all of that. And that still doesn't skip the leveling part. It only skips the time to craft. So, yeah, for a free-to-play person or someone who is not a content creator and does not have really the money to spend on this game, it's going to take you probably over 5,000 hours to max out 1 person. 1 single Descendant in this game. And considering they've been trying to push out 1 new Descendant for every single update, good luck trying to figure out who you're going to main because it's just not going to happen. So this new module system that they have going on is absolutely atrocious. It is absolutely terrible. On top of that, they constantly love to push out brand new brand new characters, or not characters, brand new enemies, intercept battle bosses that they want you to kill, and they're just leveling them up. They're not actually doing anything to make them more difficult or interesting, and instead all they are really doing is just sitting there and adding level difficulty, which is not actually good. That's not like a cool way of making things harder. It's eventually just going to run you into a point where it doesn't matter what, you know, modules and stuff you're going to have on a character. It's either you're going to have to use Glay, who's just broken in every single way no matter what, or you're just going to get kicked off the squad, or everybody's going to leave because they're not going to want to do it with you because they know you're not going to be putting forth the same damage and stuff that they are going to do, because the actual mechanics are not very difficult. They never really are. So yeah, and they'll probably continue to make the mechanics easier and stuff for characters or for players, because they're going to complain about it. That's exactly what happened with Frostwalker. Frostwalker is now super easy to beat, because they added more embers to drop, because people kept complaining about embers not dropping and how the boss was too hard to beat because they couldn't break the parts and stuff. So, and they were struggling with the immunity phase and things like that. So they made a way for you to slow down its immunity, or its walking during the immune phase, so that way you can break the parts easier, which now drop embers, which now make you more easy to survive the wipe mechanic, which again is just kind of baffling to me that they went through all of that to do that, but whatever, don't care. So what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with me? Do you think that this update was kind of a trash update, or do you think they did a really good job on this update? Because I'm sure a bunch of streamers out there are perfectly fine with this update. They get to play this game full time. They don't have to worry about, you know, real life situations and stuff. But for myself, I know this game has done a lot for my channel. It has gotten me tons of views and stuff, and I appreciate all of that. This game was a game changer for my channel, and I love that so much. But as someone who works a full-time job and only gets to play a little bit on like the weekends and stuff, like I'm doing now, this is terrible for me, because I'm constantly trying to max out a new character to make new videos on. Like I wanted to do a video on Haley and do like damage testing with her and stuff, but I don't have the money to just sit there and buy like hundreds of dollars worth of catalysts and then also sit there and grind levels constantly. Like I said, I only get to play a little bit, so I've already spent an hour getting her just to level 30, and I've already started doing damage testing, and that's not counting the guns that I also need to like max out as well, just to make them worth using with her. So you can kind of see where I'm coming from, where I'm starting to feel the struggle of being a small-time content creator. But yeah, it's a little bit, it's kind of a lot, but I'm trying my best, guys. So I hope that you are sticking with me. I'm sure you guys are also feeling the same struggle, because I know I am. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I always read the comments, and I always want to know what you guys think, because sometimes I might be thinking about this at a weird standpoint, you know? You know, some of you might be like, oh, it's, you know, it's just padding playtime because playtime's good for companies that make games and stuff. And while I agree, and I know that, there is a such thing as making a game too padded, basically, or too time intensive. Because I don't know my exact playtime, but I've played for hundreds of hours already, and I don't have a maxed out character because I've, you know, dedicated my time to trying to do things for content purposes. So I don't know. You guys let me know. Am I tripping? Am I, you know, I feel like what they need to do, this is my solution to this. They need to either add a void intercept battle, or just do it to all the ones that already exist. But add a new item that can drop from the bosses. That is an XP item. like something that can give you XP when you use it on a Descendant. Like it could be, like for instance, let's see, we're at level 30 and you need 71,000 XP to level up. So make it be like an item that when you use it on a Descendant, it gives them like 10,000 XP. You know what I mean? And have like different versions of it. So there can be like lower rarity ones that give you like 5 to 10,000 XP. There can be higher rarity versions that can give you like 20 to 25,000 XP. And then the ultimate version can give you like 30 to 35 or 50,000 XP. You know, something like that. Give us an item that we can grind for that will benefit us with XP when we use it. Because it can decrease the amount of grinding that it takes to do all this leveling up. Because I can tell you right now, once I assign a socket type to any of my people, that socket type's staying like that. I will use that build until the game literally just dies. Because I'm not leveling up a character over 2,000 times just so I can make sure I have the most optimal build at all times. That's not happening. I don't care what changes they add to the game, unless they change it to where I don't have to do that anymore. I'm not worrying about other socket types. Once I complete a character with just one socket type on every single socket, that's all I'm stopping at, because I don't want to sit there and have to, like, you know, feel like I'm going to do unspeakable atrocities to myself from grinding the game that long. Like 3,000 hours to grind out one character is insane, and that is not how it should be. And again, that is not even considering guns that you're going to have to max out as well, because that's a thing that I'm struggling with right now with Haley. All the damage testing that I've done with this character, all of her abilities, like her ultimate especially, scales off of your weapons. It scales off of your attack damage, and also scales off of some of the modifiers or modules that you put on the weapons. For instance, like ammo mods and things like that. Her abilities scale off of that. Well, now I have to sit here and like figure out, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to max her out first so that I can put the most optimal Descendant modules on her? Or am I going to max out the gun first so that way I can have the gun, you know, how it needs to be for her? Which, by the way, once again, runs into another issue where, oh, well, if I build the gun to kit her out, the modules that I put on there might be the wrong socket type from what other characters might need them to be, because Lepic also scales off of his weapons as well, and also needs, you know, like, so you kind of get what I'm saying, where I'm coming from with this, right? So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how I want to go about it, but it's been a little bit of a struggle trying to do it, and hopefully I can figure something out soon. But again, let me know what you guys think. I hope you've all enjoyed your summer so far. We're coming close to fall soon. We got like another month to go, but yeah, let me know. I might be thinking about this wrong. Just let me know. I don't know. I didn't mean for this to be like almost a 20-minute video, so I apologize for that. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Laters.